Ricky, round 2 of the Anglo-Welsh this weekend, Cardiff Blues here at Sandy Park, and a big game for you guys.
Yeah, we looked at Quins last week away, and we went up there to try and rip a game away from it. It didn't go away. Yeah, I think performance-wise we played well and we created opportunities, but didn't obviously get the result that we were looking for. Yeah, so it makes this game at the weekend obviously a little bit bigger. Yeah, and we've approached it this week. We've had a good training week. The guys are training really well. We've had a good reflection of the game, and we're really looking forward to obviously getting a home game in front of what will be a big crowd. And for some of the younger guys, it'll be one of the best experiences they're going to have. So that's really exciting.
Such is the quirky nature of this competition, though. Although you lost last week, you aren't playing Harlequins in your group, is it? But it does mean that this game's just as important. Yeah,
it does. I think in the past we've got 1 loss and 2 wins and have gone through. I think it's the same if we can bang in a good result the weekend. It's going to be a tough game. Cardiff are going to come down here. They've mixed up their side like we have. There's going to be some young guys out there, real full of energy on both teams, and if we can get a good result here, that can put us right back in it. I think obviously Sale and Worcester won, who are in our group, but they've obviously got to go to Quins and a few of the other teams as well. So good result the weekend can get us back in it, and we're really excited about it.
Does it make it a must-win though, Ricky, this weekend? Do you feel?
Yeah, of course it does. I think even if we'd have won at the weekend up at Quins and come down to win at home, to get a loss of losses that have been under our belt for the last 2 or 3 weeks would be an area that we're really focusing on. So it is a must-win game. If we lose, we've got another 2 games, but obviously it'll be a bit harder to qualify. So we've focused on that. We've focused on the things that we didn't quite get right on Saturday up at Quins, and the boys have trained well, and we're really looking forward to it.
One of the downsides was losing 2 players pretty early in the game, but the positive was that Joe Simmons and Harry Strong came on for their first starts and they didn't look out of place.
No, I think Joe's shown that playing down at Plymouth has really helped him. He's developed his game, and he came on, and obviously disappointing for Will to get that injury the way he did and to come off the pitch so early in the game, but I think Joe fronted up. He's trained really well this week. We've asked a lot of him in terms of leading the side, increasing his chat. Him and Jack managed the game really well, and with Chuds coming in this weekend as a different half-back partnership, so he came in and did well. Strongy's had a long time out for injury. To get him on the field was really pleasing, and he finished strongly. And this week we're going to have another few guys getting their first opportunities. Jack Howlett's coming in from the university at Tighthead, and from our perspective, these types of games are really important for those younger guys, and to play at home in front of will be a big crowd. It's obviously going to be very nerve-wracking for them, but they'll learn so much from it, and that's what this competition's about.
We saw last week one of the things probably that did cost us was the discipline of side. Is that something you've talked about this week?
We didn't necessarily. We obviously conceded a lot of penalties, like 16-4. We more looked at ourselves really. There are a few issues around the refereeing decisions in terms of the breakdown area, but we looked at how strong we're being in there in terms of our presentation and so forth. So we focused on what we're in control of, and with that this week, the breakdown's been key. I think our line speed was really good, and that'll be another area that we focus on for this weekend. So the penalties weren't brilliant up at Quins, and we've talked about it, but we've more focused on what we're doing in around that presentation area.